What's going on, y'all? Darrell Bennett here. I have something that I wanted to, this was so strong. I had to jump on here and say this. So I want to talk really quickly about what happens when the calf pops out in your life. Somebody like, what is he talking? Where is he going with this? So I'm going to tell you a quick story, then I'm going to get right to it. The story is the story that is recounted to us in the book of Exodus. And we're told that Moses is up on the mountain, visits him with God. This transformative moment. Let me stop here. This transformative moment. And Aaron has been told to watch the people. Long story short, for those of you that know the story, you already know what happens. The people end up doing all this stuff around this calf. And Moses comes down, sees what's taking place, and is so angry. Not only does he break the 10 Commandments, not only does he essentially order the deaths of the people who have done what they did. I mean, he did it indirectly by basically saying, everybody that's on the side of God, stand behind me. The Levites came behind him. He said, now slay those who did what they shouldn't have done. But then he calls up Aaron to confront him. How did this thing happen? And this is what I'm going to talk about for a second. Aaron says something really interesting. This is his explanation. Aaron says, Moses, the people were disgruntled because you were gone for a long time. I didn't know what to do. They gave me their gold. I put it in the fire and a calf popped out. That was his explanation. It was a lie. It was a lie. It was not that simple. They fashioned it. They used the engraved tool. There was a lot of things that were going on. But the sentiment of what he was trying to express is true. He was confused. He didn't know how it happened. He knew what he did, but he really didn't know how it happened. And the fact that he says the calf popped out. And that's what I want to talk about. What happens when something in your life pops out and you never expected it? See, the calf was a god or a symbol of a god that they would worship in Egypt. So how is it that after the true and living God could do everything he did for them and they came out of the land of adversity, how are they still worshiping a foreign god? I want to talk about the calf popping out. Something in your past that you thought you were over. You thought it was done with, it was finished, it was over, and yet it popped out. And though Aaron, and I don't want to ostracize this man or demonize him for saying what really has happened in all of our lives, if we're true, all of us can point to a place where a calf has popped out. A calf popped out. And you're trying to figure it out. And it's easy for people, people who look at the behavior and people who see what went wrong to kind of say, how could you do that? But you and yourself are trying to wonder at the same time, how did I do it? All I know is it popped out. 60 seconds, and I want to minister to somebody who is dealing with a calf in their life, a golden calf that you have worshiped and you have engraved, and it has come to be an obstacle, an albatross to you moving forward. Maybe it's a calf from your past that you had nothing to do with, but it happened to you as a child. And you had no choice but to go with it because you were a child. But it was in your past and it didn't stay in your past, and now it's popped out in your present. In the way you deal in relationships, in the way you see yourself, in the way you show up in the world and manifest yourself around people. Maybe it's a calf of your own making in the past because of some poor decisions in your life, and you've prayed for it to go and you've wanted it to go, but for some reason it keeps coming back. I think I'm really talking about patterns. I think I'm really talking about the frustration of when you gave it to God and you thought you gave it to God and you believed you gave it to God, and somehow, some way it popped back up in your life. First, I want to tell you, you ain't alone. You're not the only one. Trust me, you're not the only one. Secondly, I want to tell you that there's hope. That there's hope. That you can build again right where you are. That there's help. That there's development. There was development that had to happen with Aaron. We don't like to use the word, but there was development. And thirdly, I want to say to you, to get in a community of people to lift you up and gird you up, to help you address why is the calf continuing to pop up in your life. The hard work of confronting yourself about the calf, not from a place of shame, but from a position of strength. You can do this. You're worth it. That's for somebody.